Hey everybody, it's John Gaffney at True North Consumer Advocates. I hope everyone is doing well today. I speak to clients every day. Many of them are in the middle of a claim, and one of our core services is to help them navigate the claim process and hopefully bring them to a successful conclusion where they are happy with the outcome. But unfortunately, sometimes we have to have the tough conversation and let the client know that the claim is not covered. In that particular case, we'll bring them to their policy, the page, and the paragraph, and show them the specific wording that excludes that claim. And invariably, we always hear something like, John, I didn't know it wasn't covered, or my agent didn't tell me it wasn't covered. And unfortunately, that doesn't change the outcome. I have been preaching to my clients for years. You cannot treat a risk that you have not identified. And it doesn't matter if you are the risk manager for a Fortune 100 company, a head of household that makes all of the decisions regarding insurance for their family, or a small business owner who administers all of their business policies themselves. The risk management process is the same for all of them. The first step is you have to identify the risk. That's number one. Number two is you have to analyze the risk. Number three is you have to evaluate the risk. Number four is you have to decide how to treat the risk. And number five, you have to monitor and review the outcomes going forward. Now, there are a number of different techniques to treat risk. The first is avoidance. And I'm just going to, use a general example. You're a family, you own a home, you make a conscious decision that you're not putting a trampoline in your backyard. You do not want the liability exposure, so you're avoiding that risk, okay? Another technique to treat risk is risk mitigation, where through loss control techniques, you mitigate the probability of the risk occurring. Again, with the trampoline example, instead of not putting the trampoline in, you decide to put the trampoline in, but you purchase the protective netting that goes around the perimeter of the trampoline to hopefully prevent any catastrophic injury. Another risk treatment is transfer. The best example for that is you buy an insurance policy and you transfer the risk to the insurance company. You can also share risk with other parties. You can also retain risk, and that's what I want to talk about today. There's two types of risk retention. The first is active retention, and the best example for that is where you've done steps 1, 2, and 3 of the risk management process, and you make an informed decision to retain risk. And I'm just going to give you an exaggerated conversation that I had with a client. John, I'm really happy that we had this conversation today. We got to, to identify some risks and isolate some risks. And, this particular risk, we know that it exists, but to be honest, it happens frequently. It happens on a regular basis. And when it does occur, there really aren't any financial consequences at all. So we're going to make an informed decision and we're going to retain this risk. And my answer to them is perfect. That's exactly how the risk management process is supposed to work. They've identified the risk. They've identified that the frequency is high, the severity or the financial impact is low, and they retain the risk. Perfect. The other type of risk retention is passive. This is when the client has not done step 1, 2, or 3 of the risk management process, or they just completely missed that exposure, that risk. That is when you unintentionally self-insure a risk, and that is a ticking time bomb. And when that time bomb goes off, very often it spells catastrophic consequences for families, for small businesses. That's not a place you want to find yourself. Don't leave your financial future to chance. Go to TrueNorthConsumerAdvocates.com and subscribe today.